Hi, so I'd like to introduce you to my favourite girls on Twitter, called Alice and Beatrice Grant. And they're both at school, aren't you? You're both at school. How old are you?
I'm 17.
And how old are you?
I'm 16.
My God. Okay, so they're really ruling the world of Twitter in England, and they're complete Brexiteers and lovers of Nigel Farage. Not lovers in that way, but they adore Nigel Farage. And I do too, in lots of ways. Tell me about how you feel about royalty in this day and age.
Well, I do think the Queen has a very important role as, someone that we've all looked up to for centuries. But I do feel as though her advisors are possibly not the greatest people, because it is her duty to defend our kingdom, and of course our sovereignty has been transferred to the EU under her reign.
Yes.
And that,
This is a problem for you.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I totally agree with what Alice says. I think she has led our sovereignty to the EU.
Yeah. And she's the embodiment of the sovereignty of this nation.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
And it's crazy to think now she is an EU citizen.
Absolutely.
It's
And what
just,
do you feel about Meghan Markle? You mentioned her.
Well, I think that she should practice what she preaches on the environment, because after telling us about climate change, she went and took all these private jets and she's travelling around the world, and she's not really behaving as a member of the royal family should, I think.
In regards to staying apolitical.
Absolutely. So it's a bit of a problem. So we need to define the royalty. Do you think the House of Lords should change?
Yes, I do. I think it does need to be abolished, or maybe reformed at least, because the peers in the House of Lords are no longer hereditary. I think there's only 92 left of hereditary peers, and now they're all just from
People like
Tony
Lord
Blair's
donors,
time, or from David Cameron's time. So just his friends and big donors who
Absolutely, who pay for their peerages. Absolutely. I mean, I think the public should be aware that all the peerages are usually bought. So it's not done through good works. It's quite shocking actually when you look who's got a peerage and who earned a peerage.
Isn't Theresa May now thinking of giving a peerage to Ollie Robbins, who was just dreadful at negotiating with the EU. So
absolutely, and he's very young to be a member of the House of Lords, I think. I wouldn't personally give him that job. I can understand that you want to give your friends some support, but that's going too far. And so what do you feel about Boris? Because I really like Boris. I'm a Boris lover. I absolutely adore him, okay? I think he's funny, witty. I love hanging out with him and hearing him. And I don't know, I don't take him very seriously. I know a lot of people do, but I don't take him seriously. But I do find that he's going in the right direction. It's going to be an impossible job to get out of Europe. But anyway, going back to him, what do you feel about him? Do you think he can achieve it by the 31st of October?
I really hope so. He's brought so much optimism and energy to our politics, and I think it was really great when he sort of proved himself by removing the whip from all those Remain MPs. So I thought that was a great move. His strategy has been good.
Quite brave, actually.
Yeah, very brave, very courageous. I think we definitely need more politicians like him.
Do you think it's Cummings?
Do you
think it's Cummings that's doing it, or do you think he is doing it?
No, it's definitely,
coming from Nigel, really. Do you think it's coming from Nigel, or because we know that we both like Nigel Farage. Do you think it's coming from him?
Yeah, well, I think Nigel's putting a lot of pressure on the Conservatives to deliver Brexit, because if a general election comes, us Brexiteers will probably be more likely to vote for the Brexit Party if Boris doesn't deliver Brexit. So I think
in order to keep the Conservative Party alive, they really must deliver Brexit, because
well, actually, I'm surprised by Corbyn on this stance, because he didn't like Europe at all.
Exactly.
And now he's done a complete U-turn. And is very weak and fragile on this. I'd rather actually Jo, because at least with Jo Swinson, she's actually saying she loathes leaving, and that's one. It's not democracy, but it's okay. So tell me how you both started in politics, because you know more than most adults. So how did you start, Beatrice?
Oh, well, Alice took politics for A-level, and so we both started to research more, and we started watching videos of Nigel Farage speak, and European Union, and we really agreed with everything he said. And so we.
He's so courageous when he stands up there.
Yes.
When all the EU Parliament is sneering and making fun of our nation and making fun of our democratic vote to leave, and he's there defending us, and I just was really inspired by his passion.
And you know, they love to say that we're both let's talk about racism, because their favourite thing is that every Brexiteer is a racist. Are we racist?
Absolutely not. Our mother's from Peru, so
yes, okay.
You know, we've grown up always, you know, being tolerant of other people's cultures and racism. And, you know, it's nothing to do. The Brexit vote was nothing to do with racism. It was all about just, you know, making our laws at a national level, having control of our borders, which is perfectly normal. You know, most other nations work that way.
Yes.
So it's
And really, I think it's completely fair that we should look after our.
Certainly,
Although we live in a global society, because let's be very basic. Amazon comes worldwide to our doorstep, and you know, we could be buying from China, or we could be buying from anywhere in the world, in fact, or America, and it just comes to our doorstep, neatly wrapped in an Amazon box. So it's very good. And what is the other thing do you think that Brexiteers are really nagged about? We're racist, and we are.
well, I think the term fascist is used a lot too,
which is terrible.
Absolutely awful. Considering it really, you know, using these words like racist and fascist so often, it actually demeans their meaning, their original meaning. So, you know, these words are supposed to have a lot of power, but they've taken away the power from the words by just calling, you know, even two young teenagers like us, you know.
We're fascists.
Yes.
Well, I'm a fascist all the time.
No.
I am. No, I'm not, of course, but there's no humour as well. I mean, the lack of humour. We have more fun around the corner at the pizza place, in Pizza Delizia, than talking about politics these days. It's very dour. And I don't know, I wish you two lots of luck, because I think, you know, you're an inspiration to your generation. And, you know, you have to go and fight the good fight for all of us, because people will listen to you. And I also think that they say that the youth are all not going to be interested in Brexit, but you two are.
No, absolutely no.
And what about your friends at school?
So a lot of them were pro-Remain, which I don't blame them for, because there's so much propaganda from the BBC and even in school, teachers telling us that, you know, leaving will ruin our futures. So I don't blame them, but I think it is important that the youth become more able to think critically, which has seemed to be lost in the last decades. So
Yes, absolutely. At least you can fight this.
Yeah,
And we might be able to get out on that.
We do. I've been talking to some of my friends about Brexit, and they're actually getting quite open to the idea of leaving the European Union.
Yeah.
So
They're not just worried about passport control and their passports not working. Well, okay. Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Oh, Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britain never, never, never shall be slaves.